Greetings, weary traveler, come, warm yourself by the fire, and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, and of course, tales of Tamriel. I'm your host, Arkhaniir, who is about to sleep, and this will be, for everybody, a very sleepy episode. But in case I sleep, we have our backup host, the man, the myth, the legend, Lotus of Doom, joining us. How's it going, Lotus?
I'm good, and I also didn't need to do the intro, which is a huge plus for me.
The night is young.
So you got one of the major things that I'm not great with down pat. So
well, you might still do the outro in case I fall asleep, and then somehow wake me up from where you guys are, so I can actually end the show, like click end stream and recording. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Also joining us, the giggle queen, joy of the show. How's it going, Pixie?
I'm doing great. At least you didn't call me Queen Bunny Killer like everyone else.
Well,
you just gave me the idea, so from now on, in the upcoming shows,
why do I do this?
Have to happen.
I wish we should really bring over your link of you murdering that bunny in cold blood and put that as a clip in our channel as well.
That makes perfect sense. That
sure
makes, it's gotta happen now.
Oh no.
Rip bunnies.
I'm sorry.
That is correct, chat.
Look, it's not my fault, Pixie. I am so sleep deprived at the moment. I'm like, my brain is very suggestible. I forgot the actual word. There is a word for this, but like suggestible,
Suggestible works.
Suggestible, yes. So you just did
good.
it yourself. You just gave me a suggestion, and since I am in no shape to object to it, it'll now happen. So
Well, to be fair, you did make it despite some. Here's we'll just one part of the behind the scenes part. I did have that you were deceased in the notes. So
yes,
to our pleasant surprise that you are not.
We were very shocked that you made it.
Yes.
I am very shocked that I made it. I actually woke up about 10 minutes before I said I am up. In that 10 minutes, I was contemplating like life, why do we exist?
Giving up hope and just embracing the pillow.
Took me about 10 minutes to actually decide that I should be up. Like it's, but I'm up. I'm up and we are recording. It is fine.
That's all right. It's a better show with you, Ark.
Absolutely.
At least intros and outros. That is most definitely true. In between, I can't say anything, but until you learn how to do these.
That's why he's really here. He's supervising us. That's the whole reason.
Yeah.
Making sure. Oh, man. Imagine, I am the supervisor, so... Oof. What goes on behind the scenes?
Well, I mean, even though there's not a lot of ESO news, there's some decent amount of news with said network.
Yes.
Which is also good that you're here for that.
So in that regard, we gotta give a shout out to our Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers, and you might be thinking, what? Patreon? Isn't that in the past? Not anymore. It is back. So we relaunched our Patreon page, patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork, for those who want to support us over there and help keep the metaphorical torches lit, because metaphorical, torches being the servers of the website and our RSS feeds. But if you want to help support us there as well, you can do so. And one of the tiers gives you access to our pre-shows, post-shows that get edited out and otherwise only happen during live recordings. So yeah, if you miss our live shows and still wanna have access to all the pre and post-show shenanigans, you can do so over at Patreon, while also helping keep us alive.
Yes.
So yeah, it has now happened. In that regard, our first relaunched Patreon is Jealous.
Thanks, Zach.
He's
Thanks,
still he's behind the scenes, still supporting the network, trying to be sneaky,
Yep.
I'm not letting him.
Sneakily helping us along.
And our second Patreon is, or rather patron, is... Actually, fun fact, patron in Turkish means boss. So...
Oh, really?
Wait, means what?
Yeah, boss.
Your boss?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like
boss.
patron.
Okay, I
Yeah,
heard
All right,
something
so
different.
you are all our bosses.
Yeah, true. Exactly. Yeah, that's how it works. So patron equals boss in Turkish, and that is Bob
Chickens! Bob
chickens,
Chickens!
chimichangas.
Bob Chichinsky.
Bob
I've learned to
Chichinsky.
say it after
Yeah.
many fails. But yes, other than Bob Chickens, actual Bob Chichinsky, thanks so much, man.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that. And also, a shout out to our Twitch subscribers as well. Just this show, Kinara Nebulo, thanks so much for the subscription on Twitch too. So
Yes.
these are Patreon and Twitch shout outs.
Our metaphorical torches are the way we light our dumpster fire, so...
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You can help keep the metaphorical dumpster fires lit. Although sometimes it's not metaphorical at all.
Yeah, sometimes it's less metaphorical
quite
and like
literal.
literally is something on fire.
I mean, the next step of this would be us actually like opening up a studio, like a full-on actual studio. And instead of like a background with, I don't know, swords, figures, I don't know, collectibles, we would actually have a dumpster bin and fire going on it. And that would
That would
be
smell
our...
so bad.
Yeah, but it'd be nice and warm in the winter.
Yeah.
would.
Also, well, we don't have to actually lit dump on fire. We could just put like firewood in there, but
I do have
green
a fire
screen
pit.
it. I like
could just
Ryan's idea.
Film outside.
Yeah. It's
Ryan's the real thinker here with the green
Yeah,
screen.
with a green screen?
Yeah.
Nah, that's way too advanced.
So the next
Green screen
bit of
falls down.
the next topic of bullet point in our show notes is sleep, is typed by me in all caps. Just so to let everyone know why this show is like this. I came home at 3 a.m. tonight because a friend from out of town was in town. So that basically meant no time to actually sleep. So what I thought I would do is I would stream until it was time to start Tales of Tamriel. But then halfway through that, I realized I can't. I'm about to collapse. So I went to sleep on the couch, which is right to my left. So I could crawl and go live, which is basically what I did after an hour and a half sleep. Which is why
Fresh as
I
a
don't.
daisy.
Yeah, yeah. And it's 7 a.m. I only slept hour and a half since noon yesterday. So I might
Woof.
fall asleep anytime soon. Which is also why in our behind the scenes update it says Ark dead again. Rest in peace. Written by Lotus.
You're gonna make it.
Welcome back from the dead.
Yeah.
We used the
Well, to be
necro-res.
It'll be
See,
a gift
yeah,
for the
it
audio
works.
listeners if there's a huge thunk, because that's just you passing out on the desk. Just don't edit that part out, and then that fills it in even for the audio listeners. The video watchers will notice that you've passed out, but like it can be tough with not having the visual cues from the audio side. That's how I listen to it. You get that nice solid thunk, and you know that you didn't make it.
So yeah, that was our intro into Oblivion.
Yes.
So we're gonna start with news. I see that Lotus, you typed some news, but is this a
Yeah.
single piece of news or
It
three
really
different
is.
news merged into one single sentence?
It's a terribly written sentence. So yeah, there's some behind the scenes.
I
I type
actually-
everything in a giant run-on.
I actually want to read this. So this is Lotus's news note. Merkmeyer event, ! RNG, ? an old style of building pets slash mementos. Not
Yep.
mementos, by the way. Mementos. As well.
Look, that is perfectly crafted, borderline artwork. That is all one unified thought, just kind of like mushed around, so to speak.
Well, I mean, take it away because I have no idea what the news is
All right.
about this.
Fine, I will decipher the notes for everybody. So, as we all know, the Murkmire event started on Thursday at 10 Eastern, I believe it was. And not quite as extreme as the last event of Mid-Year Mayhem, but there's a little bit of blowback going on with this one, kind of involving the RNG situation. So, as people might have noticed, you can get your event tickets not as a guaranteed drop in this one, but a chance drop from doing a lot of things.
Wait.
Killing a boss, killing random mobs, and harvesting crafting nodes even can do it, is what I've heard. That's not great. Because like that doesn't need a level of RNG as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think anybody was asking for that to have a level of RNG. You get a Murkmire box from the event, as it's been mentioned in chat by Isha, or not get them at all. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the problem. So some people from some of my guilds, one of which is my guild leader from one of my guilds, so she is not new to the game and not like, oh, I don't understand how this works. Mm-hmm. We were like grouped in chat and stuff like that, and she killed several world bosses, killed several random bosses, turned in several quests, and did not get a ticket in over 2 hours.
Wow.
Oh man.
She just couldn't get one to drop, and I didn't really have an answer for her. On the flip side, I haven't really had too many problems, and it seems like a lot of people aren't, but the problem is there's a few issues, so to speak, with them, at least from my understanding. If you are grouped with other people, there is a chance they could kill something. So you have to pick up the tickets. They're like a tangible item. A lot of things that I've been hearing is if you're grouped and not just solo, and one of your teammates kills one, like an enemy, and it's off in the swamp, and you don't collect the stuff off it, there's a chance like you just walked by your tickets and you didn't even know they were there because you didn't kill it.
Oh, and then you won't get it again.
Correct, and you won't get a second version of the drop because your drop was sitting there. That's one thing I've heard. I believe it was Benevolent who pointed out the fact that it's not like, try to get your tickets first, then group. Another thing, originally I was under the impression it's like, well, at least if you get the box, like the Murkmire event box, it comes with tickets. Mm-hmm. That has also since been proven false because several people I was with were like, hey, I got the gold box, but I didn't get the tickets. Or I got tickets and I didn't get a box. And I'm like, oh, great, those are separated too. So, not sure what's going on. If you have any further insight, like I said, it's been kind of like piecing this information together as it comes along. But this seems like an extra step that did not need to be added whatsoever. I don't really understand what the goal was here, except to annoy people.
I mean, I am not at a proper brain capacity at this point, but I'm trying to think of like, so this is a choice. This is not, unless it was a very strange bug that was not supposed to happen. So this is a choice that they made. They decided like, okay, you know what? This time we are gonna do it like this. I am trying to think of reasons why this design choice would be made. Like,
yeah.
I think they did something like this a while back. I want to say it was in Northern Elsewhere. I don't remember what the event was, but I remember you could either kill a world boss or mobs would have a smaller chance to drop the tickets.
Yes.
So it's like that again, only now some people are having issues getting the tickets. Like, I know the first night, so Thursday night, I killed a boss, a world boss with a group, but it didn't drop anything for me, because I guess I just didn't do enough damage on it. I was on a low B healer. But then the next day, the first mob that I killed had tickets on it, so it was fine. And then Zoss even put out a thing on Twitter saying, like, if you're having issues with the world bosses, just keep killing mobs. Eventually they'll pop up. I didn't know, however, about the group thing. And that part seems like a legitimate bug, because I could see how that would be easily looked over.
As it is now in Murkmire, do you get 100% drop from a world boss? Like, or whatever you are mainly supposed to do? For the
so
event
every time...
So it's full RNG.
Yeah,
Whatever you do.
I was going to say, I've actually done a world boss and not gotten anything. Like, I've done enough damage to it. So, generally, for the most part, I can't do enough damage with the hordes of people destroying everything.
Yeah.
So, you'll enjoy this. I've been doing this event on Arkhaniir, since he's now actually DPS capable. I can actually out-damage the RNG of the group, like when the hordes hit things and I can get a drop. I actually killed the Walks Like Thunder, got the items off him, and did not get... I just got random trash items for my first thing. And I walked further down, and I was like, I guess I have to kill something else. As I continued down, I killed this little patch. It was out in one of the swamps. It was 2 of the reanimated Argonian skeletons and a Voroplasm. I killed that group. It gave me the tickets, gave me the event box, and what's more, which I at least want to give credit in the other direction in this situation, I got 2 of the pet pieces in one box, which I didn't even think was possible. Like, I hadn't heard anybody saying anything about that, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So it worked out. I haven't had this problem of, like, not being able to get it myself, but the bosses don't seem like guarantees either, so...
Also, here's the thing. So I just read the article again about the Murkmire celebration.
Yep.
And uncover event tickets. The Murkmire celebration also a new opportunity to earn event tickets. During the event, the zone's monsters and boss monsters each have a chance to drop event tickets. Oh yeah. So it was indeed a design choice. So I was like, maybe it's a bug. But you can earn up to 3 tickets per day this way, up to 39 tickets total. Don't forget to loot everything.
Yeah.
So
it seems like there's an extra step.
One idea I have why they did this. So it is possible. So they are tracking basically everything. So a game like this, I'm 100% sure they are tracking like where you click, what you did, how many people did what, how many people are jumping in a zone at the same time. So it's possible during the previous celebration events. So they're doing these celebration events to bring people back to the old zones. So they still stay relevant. And also, event, whatever, make a sale, monetize, things like that. It's possible in the previous events, they realized like, okay, so if we do a fixed drop on the event tickets, people teleport, do the thing,
and then
bail. And we end up not being able to pull people into the zone again and make it relevant again. So it's possible they made it RNG so that people would have to stick around for, as you said, like couple hours until they can get their event tickets and actually spend a couple hours in the zone. That is the only reason I can think of at the moment, off the top of my head. Which is, I guess, like,
it's just...
Here's the thing. It's an event. It gives free tickets for free stuff. So the way they give the ticket is obviously up to them. But if I was gonna do something like this, I would do like, okay, this event we are not gonna give event tickets. Instead, we are giving event orbs, whatever, like different name, slightly different rewards for it, and people would be like, oh, this is something different. This time it drops with RNG. And, you know, could have avoided people getting upset.
That's just it. Like, I like the free stuff thing, and that's cool, but it almost seems, especially because so many people just do like to fixate on getting these things, it does seem like this is an extra step almost to, like you said, drag out interacting with the event itself, which it's like, I mean, it's fine. You're getting double drops in the region and stuff like that. That's great and all, but it's like, I don't know. To me, it seems like that's not probably. That seems more like a way to burn people out on the event more than keep them engaged. Personally, is what I would assume.
Yeah, it is also possible
they are like them to stick with this method.
It is also possible they are testing something out, like completely
That's
irrelevant to the event
Right.
and event tickets.
Sure. Yep,
And they are
that
using
very well could
Murkmire for it because, let's be honest, Murkmire, I mean, place of the Argonians, swamp, things like that. Yeah, it's a good place to test things out.
And
Now
they
I
also
wait
could be
for
trying to. Oh, go
All
ahead.
the angry Argonians.
They'll be fine.
They could also be trying to figure out, like, because I know in the past, like, not everybody likes to do dungeons, not everybody wants to kill world bosses, so on and so forth. So they may be trying to make this a random drop where you still have to interact with the world. It's not like you go kill a little tiny spider and then you get your tickets and you can get out. But
Right.
it could be catering to the more casual audience as well, who doesn't want to sit there and wait for a world boss to spawn. Because if you get it off your first crocodile, then you're good to go. Or you might have to play for a little bit longer. And they could also be trying to figure out, like, okay, it can drop on absolutely everything. Let's collect data and see what the community likes going to kill the most to get these things. So that way they can implement it for future events too. So it's like, okay, if not everybody's doing world bosses, maybe we shouldn't drop the tickets on world bosses. Maybe we should do delve bosses or something else instead,
Yeah.
whatever they're going for the most. Or crafting nodes. Maybe we'll have a crafting event where crafting nodes drop tickets. I don't know. Who knows?
That
what
actually
they're doing.
makes perfect sense. Yeah.
So yeah, that could be. So they could be more behind the scenes that we're just not sure of. But it does seem like this is causing some issues with people because Zone Chat has
Right.
been slightly less than pleased from people yelling about it from what I've seen from my experience.
Well, Zone Chat is always slightly less than pleased yelling about something. So
That's also not incorrect. Yeah, it's so the other part of my well-constructed notes, which I will not take any form of criticism on ever, is the old style of building pets and mementos, which is the shift they went with. What was it? The Elsewhere, they changed it from the old style of building a pet. Like, if you remember a while back in Somerset, I was trying to complete the memento in Sunhold, where you had to collect the 7 pieces of the memento and you combine them all together. And I got like 31 of the exact same piece instead of, I don't know, any of the other pieces I could have used. And then they've changed it with the holiday events and with the making your mummified cat pet, where it's just, okay, you don't need a milk bowl and one eyeball and a ball of string and then you duct tape it together with a straw and a paper clip and here you go, you have a cat. Instead, it's just get 10 cat chunks and smush the cat chunks together and you're good. But it doesn't matter which ones are which. Everybody that I know preferred that system because it's just you either get the item or you don't get the item. And it has devolved back into, so if you want the little Mucinex blob, or
Flubber.
you want Flubber as well, and the Gravestake memento, it is not a combine 10 pieces or any amount of pieces to make this item. It is back to, you need the training wheels. You need, you know, the over-the-counter medication. Whatever the pieces are that they have, you have to have the 7 individual pieces.
Well, wasn't it like that? Like, is this something the original Murkmire had? Because I never did Murkmire except the first
because it wasn't
few
a
quests.
collectible in the original Murkmire, if I remember correctly.
Like, I'm asking because, like, if it was the original Murkmire content, they probably didn't want to bother changing the thing up and just clicked enable collectible.
Yeah, to be fair,
and
to that point, this actually could have been coded in when they made Murkmire, and it's just never been live because they didn't have an event for it. So, to your credit, that actually could very much be the thing. Oh yeah, you know what? People are right. I totally forgot about the swamp jelly.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. I totally forgot about that little thing. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, because it was for the the Murkmire quest had the swamp jelly parts.
There was something that we had to build.
Okay, so
I couldn't remember what it was, but there was something.
I actually forgot about that little dude. So yeah, it's back to that, which the problem I've been having, I don't know if the game can calculate you getting duplicates. I kind of hope it doesn't. Like, when you collect the costume pieces in Battlegrounds, it'll never give you the same piece twice.
Yeah.
So, I haven't yet, so I'm hoping that's the case. But you obviously can't buy or sell any of these pieces. They just immediately go into your collection. So that's why I'm hoping it means that's it. Like, you just, you get the piece and that it auto detects the correct piece. I'm not sure that that's the case, but but it makes buying pieces from the impresario for 5 tickets somewhat of a concern, because if you buy a piece and then you roll the piece, what do you do? Like, does the game know to not do that, or I'm unsure. It hasn't happened to me yet, luckily. I gambled and spent mine. I've almost got it. I need 2 more pieces of my little Mucinex blob. So then he'll be complete. And I've got 1 piece of the gravestake. But I'm just not... I'm not sure. I don't know. That to me doesn't seem like as good of a system as just 10 of the pieces, personally.
Yeah, I'm really bad at collecting the pieces to things. I still don't have the Alfiq even, and that's in the easier system. I want to. I just always end up, new shiny thing that I need to do over here, and then I abandon it. So that's just on me, though. That's just my short attention span.
I just really want that little Voroplasm. That guy looks great.
I really want to get one and then name him Flubber. That is my goal.
Yep, mine will be Mucinex. Not sponsored, by the way. No. But yeah,
but so you could be.
Those are I was gonna Mucinex. Check it out. I get stuffed up. I was just talking about this. But yeah, so that's the definition to my well-constructed notes that clearly made lots of sense.
Yeah, definitely, sure. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was able to follow along.
See, perfect. But yeah, that's pretty much like all of the news. It's just been Murkmire, and such.
Eve. I don't like it.
I love it. Have you finished the main quest in there yet? Because I'll get to it more in my tales, but I actually finished the main quest. It's seriously amazing.
It's really good. Me and Ag were very surprised that it didn't seem like it was coming out of the gates good, and it got really, really good. The collection quest is kind of funny, too, if you've done that side quest. I won't. You should build a calendar.
All I know
is...
Argonian
New Year or whatever. It's pretty funny. I enjoyed that.
I need to do that one still.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. That's the tapestry one or whatever. Where you
okay.
Get so you have to get each of the month's rocks and put them into the calendar. It's a pretty funny quest. I enjoyed the ending. But yeah, it's very good.
I'm going to work on that one then. I've just done the main quest. I haven't done any of the side quests in the zone. I've just done the main quest. But I want to do the side quest because the writing in the main quest is just so phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah, Lehman Tuttle is a very good writer as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
I don't know. All I know about Murkmire is I started doing the main quest line. 1 quest or 2 quests in, I ended up in a brown like pool of brown goo that I do not want to think about what it was, and I never stepped foot in Murkmire ever again after that.
Well,
I'm not going there, man. It's
you
it's
saw
ugly.
that
It's
awesome
dirty.
house, though.
It's
Flushing Meadows or whatever it's called, where it's just the giant.
I'm not going to that house
toilet.
either. It was such a
I may
great
have to send
house
you
that
my
you
pretty
guys
Murkmire
destroyed
screenshots.
for me.
That place is really cool looking. The
It
underground.
was really cool looking until all of you started talking about it like it
Well-
was a toilet. And now
Well,
I can't get it.
I mean, it is, but it's a pretty toilet. It's a porcelain throne, if you will.
You guys, Murkmire sucks.
Murkmire sucks.
Oh,
Don't ever
Oh,
come to
it's
Florida
wrong.
then.
Well, also to everybody in chat, yes, Zukas is awesome.
I love Zukas.
What's the other one? Not
Zaxic
Not
Orn.
Zukas?
yes,
Zaxic Orn.
Zaxic Orn. She was my favorite. I loved her.
See, Zukas was my favorite. I really liked her as well, but Zukas and his bark dogs, I just love him so much.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say no. Great. Yeah, great. If you haven't played the Murkmire storyline, the moral of the story is get yourself a clothespin, put it over your nose, go to Murkmire, do the main story. It's very good.
don't do it. It's not good. You
No,
end up in
not
pools
helping.
of brown
Don't
goo.
listen to Sleepy Man.
Listen
he's
to
just-
the sleepy man. I have ascended.
No, he's just delirious.
I'm ascended. Not below.
Ascended.
Like the drones over Cyrodiil from the last time he was this
Exactly,
tired.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Through intense sleep deprivation, I've achieved what the tribunal has achieved.
Jim?
Yes, that's
Great. So we have one person on the podcast who is now claiming to have achieved Chim. Wonderful.
I'm just 2 days away from becoming full-on divine, man. If I do this 2 days in a row, which might happen if I add another podcast, which I'm planning,
Yeah, oh
And
my
I'll-
god, if you strap on another, oh man.
then I'll be chilling with Talos while you guys. Then I'll be laughing at you and your Murkmire and swamps. And then I will smite Murkmire from my divine throne. I like this idea.
So note to self, don't give Ark any sort of power over Tamriel.
No.
Note to self, I'm
I
already
don't know what you
doomed
mean.
from griefing
I'm-
Ark for the past 2 years. So
I-
I'm just gonna go full bore in because it's over either way.
I mean, we already know what's going to happen to the elves, so I can just say goodbye to everyone right
I don't
now.
know.
Oh, you don't
Yeah,
need
that's
to
fine.
give me power to
Excuse me.
or anything
fine.
to happen to elves. It's there.
At
I
least
mean,
I'll die on the right alliance. It's fine. That's where I'll make my peace.
Ysgramor did it once. Why not do it again?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Ysgramor was right because elves attacked first. They just couldn't calculate what the, response would be. They should have did their homework. They didn't.
But what if I just stay on Somerset? Can we just have that pretty little island and you guys can keep your big cold spot?
I mean,
I feel
can
like
we
that's
push
fair.
Somerset even further from the mainland? Like, I don't know, put some boats and tug it away.
Just push
I mean,
it
you could
over
do the-
where Akavir used to be.
I don't know,
The
just
disappearing
towards the open
Ivea
sea.
trick.
Just
Just float it out. Well, it's basically what California is going to be. Sorry, Cash. In like a couple of years. So, it's just kind of broken off like a handle and is slowly floating out to sea.
Just make it
Yeah.
disappear like Arteum, says Kinara, and that makes sense to me. Yeah, just make.
I mean,
Somerset-
Artaeum's gorgeous. I can stay there too.
Well, then all
Yeah,
elves
you know
should
what? And
stay
then
on
you're borderline
Arteum.
not even on
and-
Tamriel. I'll allow that. Because you get to
No.
warp in and out of reality and stuff. As long as
And
you
then we'll come
provide
back
that.
with a vengeance in the 4th era, and then it'll just be fine.
Oh, see, this is. I give you an inch, and this is what we get. This is the problem.
Yeah.
The problem
You
with
banished
Talmor.
me from Tamriel. You banished me from Tamriel, and then wonder why the 4th era Thalmor did the thing.
No, see, no. That's not the proper cause and effect. The proper cause and effect here is we banished you instead of just outright erasing you from
Execution
existence.
style, yeah.
Yeah, like because if
Pull
you
a sn-
if you
Pull a
in-
Dwemer and Snow Elves.
yeah, if you in earlier eras erase the Aldmeri existence completely, like just go back to the first Almer and be like, nah, sorry, you're not gonna. And then you don't have Talmor in the 4th era because they don't exist anymore. That's the solution to Tamriel's problems.
Yeah, the conflict of the whole 4th era would pretty much just be solved at that point because
Yeah.
there'd be no one there.
Just remove the elves from the equation, and in the 4th era, Tamriel is living like a full-on utopian cyberpunk universe instead of still using swords and what. It's why the
You know
technology and anything can't advance in Tamriel, probably because of Talmor. Dragons would have
I'm
been
going
friendly.
to laugh.
Dragons would have been friendly. You know, we would be having a drink with Alduin. You know, Empire and Stormcloaks, they would be like dancing together. It would have been a beautiful world.
I'm going to laugh if in Elder Scrolls 6, the Thalmor are the good guys and everybody's anti-Nord for some
Oh
reason.
god. Well,
Let's just go the opposite direction.
So-
I want the elves to be the good guys for once.
Yeah,
This
they
displeases
they're
me.
always bad. Well, the thing is, like, as irrelevant as this conversation might seem,
I'm sorry.
I want to bring this back for a second and say, what do you think would happen? Like, eventually, this game will sunset. Who knows how many years away that will be. Do you think they will give us a definitive answer who wins the Three Banners War?
Talos comes in and ends it, right?
Yeah, he just nukes
Yeah.
all three sides. Like, nah,
I
guys,
think that's
you're
what
done.
happens.
So basically,
See,
Ebonheart
that's
Pact
my
wins.
prediction.
Yeah, I would assume that the Ebonheart Pact wins and then just peacefully dissolves, possibly enslaving more Argonians, but peacefully dissolves.
You're turning on your own people.
Look,
They are your own alliance.
I'm just saying that the Telvanni
Savages.
really,
I mean-
they think everybody's lesser than them, and House Drez just wants to enslave everybody. If they
Yeah.
were given their own way, they'd probably just enslave each other. They just like slavery. They're monsters.
It's the Dummer, you know. You can't do anything to the Dummer because they're like, oh, we are gonna blow up a mountain.
Yeah,
It's all because of the Talvani. They're too powerful.
The Telvanni can come and join the High Elves. I feel like they'd fit right in, to be honest.
Oh, the Talvani just would blow up the High Elves out of existence in the first place.
Yeah, that just seems like
Can
that
you
would turn into a
imagine the
turf war.
Talvani arrogance clashing with Aldmeri arrogance? That's like,
oh man.
yeesh.
See, the Telvanni is my favorite house, so this is
No
just
wonder.
more...
It would be. Have you
Okay,
guys ever seen
to
the
be
episode of
clear...
South Park with the smug cloud? I feel like that would be what we would devolve into, where it's just so much smug myrrh that they're just walls of it smashing into each other.
To be clear, I like the Telvanni and I like the High Elves because of their magical prowess, not the whole, like, snooty tooty-ness. I just like strong mages. And
Well-
who are the strongest mages that I can think of? Sigicor, High
so-
Elves, Telvanni. I don't
Well-
see Nords throwing many spells.
Wow,
So
okay,
guess where
so
I'm
hold
not
on,
going
hold
to be.
we have
Oh,
Shalidor.
Shalador. I was about to say
We have-
Shalador.
Zurin.
There's an
If I remember
exception.
correctly, Zurin was also a mage. A Nord. Zurin Arctos. I mean, yes, Zurin wasn't exactly a role model, but
I'm just talking about as a whole. If you want an army of mages, and you just have a list of names, and some of them are High Elves, and some of them are Nords, which ones are you going to select? I'm picking the High Elves.
no, I am
just
picking
me.
whoever studied the most, and if it's
No,
the
you
Nord,
don't know anything but their names. You're
I'm
gonna go
still
with the ones that
picking the
sound all
Nords.
magical?
I'm still picking the Nords. Because,
We'll see how my magical army does against your magical army.
well, Ysgramor doesn't really need magic against the elves, so, you know, in that sense, I would probably still pick Nords and go with a non-magical army over a magical army of high elves. That doesn't seem to work. All they can do is mess up with the politics and mess up with the structure of Tamriel behind the scenes because they can't actually do the work.
Look, I think the best way to end this conversation is from this offhand comment that Agellos made in chat, where you are now General Tullius 2.0 because you've allowed so much Mer influence onto the show.
That's your new name.
In my defense, I didn't know Pixie was a high elf until I invited her on the show.
Yep.
Then it was too late. See, that is how Talmor operate. That is exactly
That's
how
infiltrating
because-
the ranks.
Yeah,
That's literally only because by the time Ark found my stream, the meta had changed, so I was playing a Breton because my old main was a high elf.
Oh, that's very tricky.
Yes.
Actually, that's a very good point.
It's not my
That
fault. She
is
was
crap.
only half elf.
Yeah, that's some
Half
Dalmor
bad.
tactics right there. We really have been infiltrated. This is, oh my.
He sees Breton's like, oh, Daggerfall Covenant. She'd be a great
oh,
candidate.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Daggerfall
Exactly.
Covenant.
Bretons are just man-mers.
Yeah, that's true. Bretons are like the 50-50s.
But yeah, I mean, I like High King Emmerich, so I was like, oh, Breton, yeah, I like High King Emmerich, he's good. So, and then bam, the first time the topic comes up, Pixie is like, yeah, I'm an Altmer. And what do you do at that point? It's too late.
My camera just went all weird. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what it's doing. It won't focus.
Even your camera is like, wait, Pixie is a high elf? I'm not gonna render.
I'm trying to figure out how to...
I'm not
there,
gonna-
okay. Sorry, I've never seen my camera do that before.
Yeah, that's
I
because
just
your
need to
camera
take
just,
every
freaked
autofocus.
just tried to put you out of focus. Out of shape.
I had to move very close and then move back away. Okay, it's fixed. I'm sorry.
Lotus, why are you
alright.
highlighting my Tales?
Because
Stop.
it's fun. I actually was just looking at that. I was like, so
Stop highlighting my
speaking of
Tales.
focus, Ark, can we do your tails first?
Yes.
I'm just
Okay,
gonna keep highlighting it in the notes.
so I only have one Elder Scrolls related Tales because I didn't get any game time this week. Like, I didn't play anything. Didn't have the time. But apparently Pixie played games. And she was playing... she was healing Veteran Skill Color Peak. So she posted a picture of the giant boss. I forgot the name, but the boss that is the giant. And
The big lady.
yes. And the screenshot is perfectly timed that she is just about to get hit by that massive hammer. So I thought, okay, this is some Elder Memes material. He could work his magic on this. And he did. So basically what the meme is, there you have Pixie's tiny character. And then in front of her is the giant bringing down the hammer. And there's like that swing effect and everything. So it goes like a serious discussion on the tiny character. And then 45-minute rant about tower lore on the hammer. So that's the idea. And then me needing to do homework versus ESO. The grocery store cashier, me gushing about alchemy quest in Somerset. I'm like, okay, yeah, the Elder Memes is working his magic. This is good. I go once more. It's Arkhaniir as little character, and then the Guar Memes, giant font as the hammer. And then Ugo does it. Like it's
Yeah, he had a bunch of really good ones too.
and then this turns into another Guar meme with me. Out of nowhere. I just wanted some memes. I got more than I bargained for again. It's like everything I want to. And then Nika goes in, as usual, just burns me at with like one single tweet, just puts me on fire. And then everyone starts pitching in. I'm like, how? Why is everything I do turns into guars? It's insane. It's like,
Because you need to just accept being part of the cult of the guar.
No.
It's just,
and then Ugo went ahead and put my head on the giant, put a guar's head on the hammer, and it's like normal players minding their own business, and then it's like Ark telling them how much he loves guars. Where is all this coming from?
We just have an infinite supply. We just have an infinite craft bag of just guar-related things for occasions.
It's like everybody has a folder of my face and potential guar stuff in it. It's like everyone has a folder. It's like Ark memes, and then suddenly out of nowhere, there are like photoshops of me, guar, other stuff. What's going on?
Yep.
Is this some
You're like
trickery?
You're like the guar version of King Midas, where everything you touch turns to guars.
Turns to guar.
I mean,
It's how you remembered, despite your best efforts.
Someone posts something guar related, right? They are not listening to Tales of Tamriel. They don't know who I am. They don't know what Tales of Tamriel is. And then Elder Memes just tags me under it.
Oh yeah.
The Elder Memes. I became a meme that Elder Meme regularly uses. I mean, I feel proud, but at the same time, what the hell? I mean,
yeah, no, and that was just it. It started with, I think Ranger and I would tag you in these, and then memes just joined in. So now there's no reason for me to tag you. You're literally like in the photo, and it's like, who's in this photo? And it's like Arkhaniir.
So yeah, those are my tales. My tales are
mighty.
Yes, people doing guar memes is what I do.
Mighty guars.
It's no different. Oh, Kinara, we had someone have to do it. It's no different than everything being turned into Pixie killing a bunny. And now,
I was really hoping you weren't going to see that one.
So Pixie, since it was your screenshot, why don't you go ahead and start telling us about your tales while I go do something in real time.
Why did I give you moderator privileges in my channel?
No.
Why was that a good idea?
The screenshot
it'll
is
be
all
so
I
I
need.
can help you. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he's going to do one of two things. Something creative related to a bunny, or fall asleep. Stay tuned to find out which one actually happens.
I am very awake right now.
So, as the screenshot suggested, I spent an awful lot of time in Vet Skill Color Peak this weekend, and it started on Thursday. So, a couple of weeks ago, I was playing Final Fantasy XIV with my best friend Avi, who does the She Heals I Tank podcast. And we tend to take turns. 1 week I'll play Final Fantasy, the next week she will play ESO with me. Well, she took me into some harder content that I hadn't done before in Final Fantasy, and she's like, I want you to just experience this without any discussion of mechanics, and I just want you to figure it out. To which my chat said, she gets a vet scale collar next week. And I was like, alright, you guys are evil, but I will absolutely do this. Because she's only CP 200, so she's not even supposed to be in there. I was like, sure, I can die a bunch. It's alright. It'll be fun. It'll be a humbling experience for everyone involved. It'll be great. So, I get a couple people. I get Bunny, and oddly enough, Bunny runs with me, whenever obviously bunnies are kind of something that should be kept far away from me. Yeah. So, Bunny came, Bronze Solo came with us, and we go into... Sorry, coughing. Dying.
Passing away.
The bunny is getting its revenge. So, anyway, we go in there, we get to the troll boss. I'm like, okay, no mechanics for you. Immediate wipe. And so we're like, okay, we're going to help you with mechanics because this is significantly harder. So, 14 wipes later, we get through the first boss. And we were super, super happy. Everything starts going great. We get to the troll boss. Not the troll boss. That was the one we just beat. We get to the giant boss. We actually, one try was all it took with the gargoyle. That one went amazing. I was very impressed with how that part went. We could not pass that giant. We tried to cheat and stand on the place, and for whatever reason, it just killed us. And the screenshot was taken when everyone else but me was dead. I did not have my ultimate built, so I didn't have my necro res, and I just stood there and accepted my fate as I got smashed. And as she was bringing her hammer down, I'm like, this would be a perfect time for a picture. And that's whenever I took the screenshot. So it worked out great. And then, earlier in the week, I had gotten a message from Braun Solo from Sons of Sithis saying, hey, Dusty has never been in a vet scale caller. I think he'll be about CP 300 by this weekend. Do you want to take him? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It'll be his first time. It'll be fun. Because apparently I'm now the unofficial guide through vet scale caller, and I don't know how this happened to me. But it's just, it is what it is. I'm taking everyone through there. So Friday, I got wind of the fact through Twitter that Dusty was on the Sons of Sithis podcast saying that Vet Scale Caller will be the easiest dungeon he's ever ran in ESO, even though he did not hit CP 300 in time, and that he thinks it'll be a breeze, and that everything will be perfect, and it won't be a challenge at all. To which I said, challenge accepted, I'm going in on my tank, and not healing this one. And I have never healed Vet Scale Caller. I've never cleared a Vet DLC dungeon on my tank ever. I'm like, I can figure it out. How hard can it really be? I've ran it on a healer so many times, I know the mechanics forwards and backwards, I should be able to figure this out. To which Lotus found out I did not realize that tanks needed to dodge roll occasionally.
Well, to be fair, once we clued you in on that, you improved greatly.
Whatever, he put in chat, you would take less damage if you dodged it. I was like, wait, I'm not supposed to just stand there and take the abuse? I thought that was my whole job.
Yeah.
And then I stopped dying as much. And it got to the point on the troll boss where Dusty repeatedly said, all I want to say is, I'm sorry and I state my regret. And that was just on repeat the rest of the dungeon. So the troll boss held us up for a really long time. Everything else went remarkably smooth. We did have a role change, so Braun was healing, but then we had a DPS have to drop, he had to go. So then I brought my go-to tank, Lego, who usually is the one who tanks for me whenever I run that dungeon on my healer when I'm trying to help DPS get that clear. He came in and was actually healing, so we completely just swapped roles. So I was still tanking, he was healing. I got the entire clear on my tank. I even decided to dodge roll straight off a cliff with Zahn. It was great. It was really fun. I felt really accomplished, though, because I never do difficult things not on my healer. Or on a healer. I've cleared that both on my Templar and on my Necromancer, but nothing else. So getting that vet clear on my tank just made me feel so proud of myself, even though I had Lego and Lotus in my ear telling me exactly what I needed to do, I still felt good about it.
I mean, gotta say, Scale Caller Peak is one of the toughest DLC dungeons that I had to tank, especially that last fight. Everything is so chaotic, and it's like you gotta tank, like you gotta keep track of the boss's attacks so you can block or dodge or whatever, but at the same time don't step in water, don't step in the stone, don't step in this. It's an absolute chaos. So yeah,
also I think Pixie might have seen your tweet that just went live.
Yes, I saw the tweet.
So if you don't follow the Tales of Tamriel's ridiculous Twitter that we all run and oddly talk to ourselves like we're Shira Gorath and have multiple personalities, feel free to check it out at Twitter. Ours specifically is Tales of Tamriel.
You know what? I have been nice. I was given the sign-in credentials for Tales of Tamriel. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to respect these two and not just spread Aldmeri propaganda using the Twitter. But this might be the last straw.
Yep.
This might have just broken me.
Well, welcome
A
to the
war
club
has
of us
begun.
posting ridiculous things to ourselves.
So, for anyone...
Queen, I ran an appreciation post first thing in the morning.
Oh, God.
So, what I did was, when I said, Pixie, tell your tales, I'm gonna do something, I was using the exact same template of the giant versus tiny healer meme to use it as innocent bunny minding his own business versus HyperPixie.
Blast bones.
Smashing it into paste.
No! Now everyone who didn't already know will know
Yep.
that I'm a horrible murderer, that I didn't even mean to do it.
We have to post the clip as well at some point, just
Yep.
so
Yeah.
just so people don't feel left out and actually know what we're talking about. Nothing against you, Pixie, unlike you against bunnies.
Jesus Christ.
What's the problem?
To quote Dusty, I'm sorry and I state my regret.
So
My last
anyway,
tales.
I was gonna say, go on.
Whatever this
No
may
judgment
bring
there at
upon,
all.
whatever this may bring upon Tales of Tamriel Twitter, I have absolutely zero regrets. Although my
Ranger,
judgment may
Help
have
me in the
been
morning.
my judgment may have been impaired due to sleep deprivation, but I'll know when I wake up and see see a lot of Altmer's on Tales of Tamriel Twitter. We'll figure it out as we go.
Oh, it'll happen.
Yep.
So, the other thing that I did was, what day? Yesterday. It was yesterday. I finished the Murkmire main story. I cried a little bit. It was really, really, really good. Really, it was fantastic. I don't want to give anything away. It was amazing, and you guys should all just completely ignore Ark and go through the swamp. And really, the swamp is beautiful at night with the red torch bugs. Just turn off, if you have like Twitch streams going on in the background, like mute them and just let yourself be immersed in that swamp. And it has its own special kind of beauty that you don't. It's such a strange special kind of beauty that if you can just embrace the weird, it's incredible. And I absolutely love it. The story is fantastic. Again, it made me cry a little bit. It was great.
Well, to that point as well, from the music in there is super unique to everything else.
Yes.
In the game.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
actually
one
really
thing,
really
yeah.
like the music in there.
It really is. And then if, like, after you've heard all of the music tracks, so the music is good. Really good. If you turn the music off, though,
Do the
the ambient sounds are just incredible. It was seriously the most immersive zone. I love it. And it just, you learn so much about Argonians, and I mentioned, I think it was last week, I already have a very soft spot for Argonians. I do really love them. Playing through that whole storyline just made me love them even more, and they're very much towards the top of my race list. I love them.
Oh, I
What's
wish.
the name
See,
of
I hear a lot of. Yeah.
What's the name of that instrument that they made up for?
Oh, no.
It's like a keyboard that plays frogs or something.
I was just looking at that, and I don't remember what keyboard that plays
Arkhaniir. I have no idea
frogs.
what it's actually called.
Argonian
Whatever.
I just
That
processed
thing
what you
is-
said after I started talking.
Yeah,
Vosa
that-
Sattel. Or something like that. I don't know how to. It says.
It's like a
to be
giant
fair,
bagpipe thing.
Yeah, it's just a really entertaining instrument.
I think my favorite instrument in the game at the moment is the Khajiit one. Like.
The Esraj?
Yes.
Esraj?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Froggy.
Casual Ranger apparently does not feel that the Froginator is canon, so
Well, it should be.
whatever. Probably canon.
Right. Anything else, Pixie?
No, that pretty much wraps it up for me. Lots of deaths in Vetscale Color Peak.
Lots of death. Do you have a total death count between both nights?
I think I died like 20-something times the first night and 71 the next night.
Alright, so
Okay,
solid
yeah.
90-ish.
Oh, wait, no.
That's good.
So 71, about 40 of those was from... Or no, 30 of those was from Frostvault, which I also... Screw lasers.
Oh.
I'm over that one. I forgot about that. I've blocked that from my memory. I went into Frostvault and failed at the laser boss, and then went to sleep. So I think I died about 50 times in there, which my max death counter in that dungeon in particular was attempting hard mode, and I died 87 times in one run of that scale caller before. So it was just nothing. It was fine.
Ranger just sent us the the RoboCop again.
Yep. I will never be able to watch RoboCop without like bursting into laughter because of his guest appearance episode.
Every time I hear Art go a little bit robotic, I just picture that gif.
Well, Lotus, so what frustrating, sad, painful,
Yeah, I was gonna say
masochistic tales do you have for us this week?
I've done very little other than the Murkmire event, and I kind of just explained it when we were talking about earlier, where I got the thing somewhere. The only thing I wanted to mention to people just before we kind of don't talk about any more Murkmire for a while. So, as you probably know, you can share quests with each other. So, if one person, if you're all close enough to killing a world boss, it counts. And then, like, you can share picking up the, swamp trash. It's like pick up 5 pieces of swamp trash and then you're done. So, you go turn in the daily.
Wait, does 5 pieces of swamp trash, does that refer to Argonians?
I was thinking it was their refuse, but it could just be full Argonians floating in the swamp. But like, it shares all that stuff, which is
I'm
great.
sorry, everyone who plays Argonians. I just couldn't help it.
It's too
My
late.
tank is an Argonian.
Your what?
It's
Oh yeah, I know. Well,
I feel attacked, by the way, because we have Ag in chat saying that it's high elves. We have you insulting Argonians, which I just said was like my favorite race, almost one of them.
well, I mean, you were listening us when you said yes to becoming a co-host of the show. You
Thought I
knew
could
this was
convert you.
coming.
I like
could
how even
convert you.
in some of our reviews, they're like, Altmer lovers beware.
Yeah, that is true. Even our iTunes reviews, some of them,
Yep.
they warn people.
Yep,
You know,
they warn people.
This was going to happen. I'm
It's
sorry.
true.
Not
Altmer
really
lovers,
sorry, but
you have a safe home here now that I'm here.
Oh my god.
So
What
says
was I-
Twitter tomorrow morning.
Oh, ugh.
yeah, we can use this. They'll think it's safe and they'll come.
Yeah.
Then it won't be safe.
Just set up bear
Yes.
traps.
We will take over. We'll
is
magic the
working.
bear traps away with our superior magical ability.
This cannot stand scrap this episode. Never happened. Pull a mulligan. And this week on Tales, see you next week. And that's just the whole episode.
Siag, I told you. You should have just kept DCN as your own.
Look what it's devolved into.
Yeah, I'm too sleep deprived to keep track of all of this. Like, I thought she was a Breton. She turned out to be a high elf Argonian. I don't know.
Everything spiraled south.
Yeah.
What the hell were we talking about? I don't even...
Your
Tales.
painful,
You said
frustrating.
Murkmire.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh,
Tales.
yeah. Okay. I was going to give a tip to something of use. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, I know. You said pick up 5 pieces of swamp trash,
pick up
and that's
my-
whatever it
right,
calls.
swamp trash thing. Right. Thank you for getting me. I was like, I have no idea where I left off. Yeah. So Whatever you do on quests like that, because they're shareable, unless all people in your party are in a delve together when you're picking up those items, which are shared, do not pick up any of the items. Because if you do that and somebody is outside the delve, it will remove the item. It will count it for everybody in the delve. It will not count it for the people outside the delve, but it will remove the item. So they can now no longer complete the quest without abandoning it.
Oh, man.
And they have to restart.
Strange.
Yes, it's very peculiar. We've tested it many times to see if it's actually just like a fluke thing. No, literally every time. So if you're doing it with friends, just make sure you're all in there, because otherwise you're going to have to like have the person abandon it and then share it and then leave the party and then go back. It's a mess. Just always stick together if you're going to do the repeatable quests is all I can suggest. It'll save you a lot of headaches that we've screwed up several times already in this event. But that's it. That's all I've done. We've talked about all my other Murkmire related ESO stuff, because the rest of everything I've done.
They probably assumed with that, because it's like so if you're in a group, there's a possibility that you can't do stuff in Murkmire. They probably assumed that anyone who plays Murkmire wouldn't have any friends to actually group up with. So that, I guess, makes sense. But
Wow.
What do I know?
In all seriousness, though, if this bug happens to you, so if you forget, or if you're just trying to test it out for yourself, please report it so that way Zos is aware of it and they can fix it, because I don't think this was intentional. This sounds like a legitimate bug.
Yeah, this I don't know if this has been like a long-standing thing. It's rough. Because if you're going quick or somebody doesn't know, it's just easier to not even bother with the quest. Just delete it. I may have multiple times. But yeah, so I want to thank, I believe it was you, Pixie, who explained how to do the collection version. We do it on Tales with our episodes of the show on Dungeon Crawler Network. So if you ever want to go back and watch the saved versions of any of the things, they're in different collections, so you can browse through the different episodes of the podcast. Yeah. So
I didn't know this.
Oh, surprise, Ark! At least I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty sure Ashes of Creation's there, and
I don't know
Tales
how
of
Twitch
Tamriel.
works.
Yeah.
Except actually going live. That's the only thing I know about.
That's all. I can hit go live and end stream. So that's a feature that I thought was kind of neat. So for my long-standing trudge through Arena, that is up, because this is mainly to address several people have sent me DMs and stuff like that, and I'm very pleased that everybody's been enjoying my train wreck of going through Arena. Well, it's saved, so if you can't catch me live, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Maybe if we can edit them down a bit, we could make it into a thing for YouTube if people would rather. But we've got it on my Twitch channel.
I just wanna clarify. When he says Arena, he doesn't mean Veteran Dragon Star Arena or Milestone Arena. He means Elder Scrolls 1 Arena.
I mean Elder Scrolls 1 Arena from 1994. So, yeah, it has its own category now of just being the Elder Scrolls 1 Arena. I believe it's just called the Arena Chronicles or something like that. But after last time, and the last time I live streamed, I had talked about how I intended to go to Labyrinthian, and I was all excited, and I'm like, okay, I'll just blow through this Ice Fortress thing. And I got severely outclassed and just ruined for several hours on stream. Well, we took a break when I realized I was completely underpowered, and I was like, all right, I got to repair all my broken gear. I went back to Winterhold, repaired my stuff. It takes a while. It takes 10 days to repair my broken swords and stuff like that. So I did all that off stream. To which I realized, how can I explain? Even though the game is very pixelated and looks freakishly dated, The detail, and I've tried to post some of the screenshots from it. The detail in this game, I had mentioned how descriptive they were with the environments, like explaining them with words. This game has fog. This game has its own holidays that it keeps track of. It's got snow and rain, and like I'm just very impressed with like the weather patterns programmed into this old game. So I roamed around for a while my crap got repaired. And I'm like, all right, I'm good to go. Like back in, and we fired it up earlier this morning, and we had ourselves a nice long stream. So thank you to everybody in chat, specifically Clerical Apathy, who has been huge help with a lot of some of the finer points of Arena itself. But yeah, I went back into the Ice Fortress, and I'm like, okay, we're beating this place. I've got it mostly uncovered, I thought. And it turns out I was wrong. The Ice Fortress is multiple floors. It's not just one floor. And it has a stairwell that goes down into a basement, which is just as big as the top level that I thought was the entire dungeon. So I dig my way to the door, or to the staircase, and along the way there was down to one hallway that I had left that I hadn't explored. And as I'm going down this hallway, I start running into some issues where I'm like, man, I've been fighting a lot of crap in here. And snap, there goes my sword again. I literally didn't even get to the second level of this place, and I already rebroke my equipment. Which immediately meant that I could not fight the Bloodblight Knights. They were just above my skill. Like I literally couldn't roll to hit. It would just be deflected every single time. So that was the point where I decided I had to run from all of those, and I would just fight the other crap. And I went down this hallway, and the game crashed. And I was like, whatever, it's not a big deal, I just saved. So I reload the game, and I start going down the hallway, and I hear a door open behind me, and I turn around, and I'm like, oh, it's a knight. And it's not a crazy knight, it's just a generic knight. And I'm like, all right, I got this guy. And I notice my health is, like, plummeting. And I'm like, dude, this guy is destroying me. So I start trying to back up, and I can't move. And I turn around, and there's two more knights behind me. And I'm like, oh my god, and I'm dead. So that immediately, I was like, all right, fine. So I try to reload, and the game freezes and crashes again. I'm like, all right. So I go back to my save, and I try to walk down. I'm like, all right, well, now I know that one of the knights is going to come out of these side rooms. He's going to sweep up behind me. So I'm going to walk backwards, and I'm going to fight this guy, and then I'm going to turn around and fight those other two guys. So I walk backwards, and nothing's happening. The guy's not there. So I turn around, and now there's three knights in front of me. And I'm like, that's not fair, because that's not how this works. So I tried kiting them back, and I'm like, I'm going to shoot them with my bow and arrow. That'll work, because you can kind of cheese it. And I notice I'm not moving. And I'm like, what the hell? And I turn around, and there's two more knights now in the other direction. So I'm completely sandwiched between five knights. And I'm like, okay, what is happening? And then the game crashes. So the moral of this story, which took me about a half an hour to figure out on stream, was, for whatever reason, that corridor is spawning a near infinite supply of knights in whatever direction I'm not looking, so much so that the game is crashing because it cannot process all of them. So I had to find a roundabout way of getting to the location without going down that hallway, because it just fills with knights until the game crashes and I inevitably die anyways. So I kind of weasel my way through the corridors, get around the place, whatever. Horrified to find out there's a second level. Go down to the second level. Rinse and repeat. Wolves everywhere. Knights everywhere. Big plus of not running into a lot of those obnoxious Bloodlight Knights or Frost Ice Golems, whatever the hell they're really called. But I'm like, okay, I'm doing all right. And I'm going into these sub-levels that I thought were bottomless pits. They're not. They're just giant black holes that you can walk around like sub-level, like with Fang Lair, but it lets you get under some walls, which is kind of obnoxious to try to read on a map. But I weasel my way up and around, and it seems like I basically have filled out the entire map. I've got some decent gear along the way, and I noticed that there's one door and it goes to this clear little square. And I'm like, oh, baby, this has to be it. There's no place left. Please don't be a door down to a third level. I beg you. And I open the door and there's a Bud Light Knight right on the other side of it. And I'm like, of course there is. And he's standing in the doorway, to which he's too fat to get around. So I back up, which drops me back down into the pit. So he's just standing above the only way up, just blocking my way.
Oh.
The only thing I will mention about that door is it was another riddle door, to which I was asked a riddle in order to be able to progress. I got it. Chat got it. It was a much more reasonable riddle. We got that one. We all win. We're all very smart. SMRT, no vowels. And what I had to do, which again, not my theory was I'm screwed. I have to go all the way back to Winterhold, repair my weapon so that I can fight this thing. And I need to pray that I can get back to this without it breaking again. And chat realized that I'm a moron and can't read a map because it had just been, like, apparently my spirits had just been broken and I didn't know how to read a map anymore. Because it was pointed out that if I loop around, the room connects to another room. So what I had to do was stay close enough to the knight to kite him around the outer perimeter so that he would get stuck on one of the drop points. Then I would drop into the hole, sprint along the under part, get back up the wall that was near the riddle door, get in, grab the tablet, and get out before the knight could unstick from the wall and find me again. Which is what I did, because I'm a coward. And I had no means to kill him.
I'm
So
too
I did
sleepy
that.
for that. What you just got. What?
Yeah, Art, your face looked like it broke when I was trying to explain the pattern I had to do. Think of a big circle with a lot of screaming and cowardice. That was me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep. So I got the tablet. I ran like a total coward out of the ice fortress. And I still have not made it through that hallway because I just steered clear of it because I assumed it was just a death zone, and I just, well, hope nobody was trapped down there because they're dead forever. I bring back the thing. The Mages Guild is super happy. He's like, hey, whatever, you got our artifact. Here's where Labyrinthian Inn is, which is kind of neat because it just pops up on your map suddenly in the middle of Skyrim. I was like, oh, it is Labyrinthian. That's pretty neat. And I sell off all the trash gear I get. And the one thing I will say, I've had a pretty decent amount of money. And then trying to uncover what the gear does for me is really expensive. The Mages Guild, who I might just say I helped get their tablet, they were losing mages until I came along to save them. Well, they don't give you any discounts on anything at all because discovering gear, he's like, oh yeah, that'll be 1,500 gold. I'm like, dude, what? Why? He's like, yeah, for every item you have. I'm like, dude, there's 30 items. So I'm bankrupt because I had to spend it all figuring out what the gear even was that I got. So I basically looted this place to pay to find out that I looted this place, which is kind of self-defeating. And then as a final note, once I did that, I was like, well, I guess I'll head to Labyrinthian. I drop all my extra gear off to get repaired. It takes 13 days to get to Labyrinthian. I am never completing this game in 10 years. It's just not going to happen. I already foresee that happening. Clerical Apathy does not think that it has a hard state of failure when you reach 10 years. If it does, I will shatter my screen because if I play this for this long and then I can't beat the game, I will go insane. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. However, dropped my crap off and I went to try to sell an item to the Mages Guild right before I left, and I accidentally picked steel, which is weird because they're next to each other. It's just an option. You can buy items, you can sell items, you can I forget what they call discover items. I forget how it's worded. Or you could steal, Well, I accidentally clicked steal, and it was like, oh, you failed. I'm like, oh, what'd I fail at? And then I realized I tried to pickpocket him while staring at him in the middle of like a transaction. I'm like, that's not great. No idea why, but he turned into a zombie. And then a bunch of guards came in, and I had to fight them all. They are not ESO guards because they died, so I killed them all. And it turns out that no one cares about the Mages Guild because I walked outside and nobody cares. I don't have a bounty. It's fine. I murdered the head of the Mages Guild there. I killed all their guards. It's fine. Turns out he was a zombie. Not sure I should listen to his directions because it was a zombie who told me how to find Labyrinthian, which I assume is a trick. So those have been my arena adventures this past week.
Oh my goodness.
I mean...
And then he turned into a zombie is where...
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I tried to pickpocket him.
Anybody on arena? So, yeah.
Ryan says, well, that's why he didn't give you a discount. Zombies are notoriously stingy.
Notoriously stingy. Yep, that's valid. Yep.
Thank you so much for making
I think there's a question in the back. I assume that question is, what is wrong with me and why am I still playing this? It is, so as much as this game is ridiculous to try to play because it is very old, it is very dated, it has some rough edges to say the least. I was having some fun with this off stream. Having people trying to direct me or figure out what the hell I'm doing while I'm playing really turns Arena into a group activity. So I think the real multiplayer game started with Arena because you just all need to play it together and just subject one poor sod to actually playing the game while everybody else just watches that person and directs them, answers the puzzles, laughs when they die 100 times to the exact same enemy.
And for anybody who hasn't been able to catch Lotus's Arena streams live, I highly recommend them. It is an amazing way to spend your Saturday morning.
Also,
and I
just a note, though, as much as I appreciate that, be aware that we keep this as PC as possible. That is not how... I believe one of the clips you took of it, Ark, literally is just the swear emoji. So, yeah, just a heads up on that. If you do check it out, I'm absolutely happy to have you. But I do get into it with that thing, and it's all in good fun, but holy crap, that game. My God.
Don't watch it when your kids are around, basically.
I was about to say, if anybody can make it through that game without swearing, they deserve a medal.
Oh, you are... Well, as is, I'm sure people are much better at that than me because it's like most of the time I'm just clicking buttons trying to figure out what's going on. So,
I mean, Lotus gets through Tales without swearing, just barely. So
I just hold it together usually.
Like every now and then I notice a pause. He just pauses.
Yes.
And I know it's like the Boston Dynamics is working.
My brain is calculating. It's like, rephrase that sans one word. It's like, yes. Like, yep. So it's very, I don't know. I'm enjoying it more than I enjoyed Shadowkey to some degree, but that game is just like a mess. Like, but it was what it was. This game I could definitely see for the time being stunning. Like, for what was there. It was very ambitious. It's just... maybe they're... In the nicest way, maybe Bethesda's ambition was just a little outside its talent reach. Sometimes.
Ambition wasn't enough on its own in 1994.
Yeah. So, yep. That but that's it until next week, where actually I guess I won't really probably have any time to play Arena next week because PAX East. So Unless I play it on my phone or something. Nah, you know what? That's too far even for my streaming. That's really playing God that I won't. I don't even want to deal with that.
Now I'm jealous. You had to bring that up.
Yep. So if you're, this will be out before then. So if you're going to PAX East or Bethesda Game Days, feel free to say hi if you see me. I'm very, very oblivious. So if I don't notice you, it's probably because I'm not paying attention, not because I'm ignoring you. So feel free to just come up and say hello. I would love to meet more people. It's super fun when I get to meet everybody in person.
People were shouting
very
across
nice.
the conventional. Hey, arena guy!
Hey, that's fine.
Are you the arena guy?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, has anyone seen the arena dude? The one that plays very old Elder Scrolls
Everybody
games?
just hands me one of those plush stress balls.
Hey, is that dude who played Shadow Keys here? Yo, dude, what's wrong with you, man?
Yo, dude, it's the guy over in the corner playing on the N gauge. That's him.
Look, he got Arena working on his phone as well as ESO.
Done and done.
Hey guys, this guy's playing Elder Scrolls Arena on his phone.
And Bob Jakinski in first. I was nervous about meeting Lotus at first, but after the first bro hug, I knew it was going to be okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I actually just answered something. I believe it was Icy, who is actually another Stream Team member, had something posted about like what would you consider your intimidation factor? And I don't consider myself intimidatingly large or anything. I'm not like super tall, and I'm like thinner, normally proportioned or whatever, but I have been told that I look very angry all the time if I'm not paying attention. So keep that in mind. I'm not very angry. That's just my face. So
he is not very
I'm
angry.
obviously
He's
very
just been playing
intimidating.
old Elder Scrolls games.
yeah, that's what it is. It's
he's
just
broken.
my soul is
He's not
perpetually
angry.
broken. So it's just like, oh. But
someone offers him a Bud Light at a bar and is like, no, not the night.
No, keep it away.
My sword.
And apparently, according to chat, I am actually very tall. Well, I'm not. Cash is taller than me, at least. He's got like 3 inches. So
Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 6 feet tall. So I'm
okay,
not.
I need to convert that to normal unit.
Oh,
2 meters?
Okay, so you are.
yeah, I'm like
182.
Yeah.
No, not 2. Yeah, 182.
I could go to meters. That's the best I can do.
I mean,
I don't know
I'm.
centimeters.
So hold on, let me convert myself. There we go. So in freedom units, I'm 5'7". Is that how you say it? Like 5'7".
Yep, that'd be how you put it.
5'7".
Yep.
Yeah, that's I'm.
Which
I'm
is actually, I
5'7".
believe, average height is like 5'6", 5'7".
I suppose, yeah. Well, how tall is Cash?
6'3".
6'3".
6'3". There we go. That didn't calculate right. Come on, Google. Okay, 190. Yeah, that makes sense. He is
I'm
is
5'1". Everyone is taller than me. I've just kind of had to be okay with that.
And Chad is saying that 5'7" is actually the master race.
5'7s unite! Unite against the dude who plays arena.
Yeah, my slightly taller than average height.
So if we 3 actually got together, we'd be like the singular wireless bars from
Yes,
like the
actually.
early 2000s.
Yes.
Or if we get Cash
We're
as
all
well,
about
we
half
are.
a foot different.
If we get Cash as well, we are Daltons.
Perfect.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Have to make it happen now.
And that has been the Hikecast for this evening, where we discuss how tall everybody is.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, whenever I went to Vegas, that was the first thing everybody said to me. Wow, we know why you have Pixie in your name. You're really freaking short. And I was like, I mean, it's not like I've lied to anyone. I even posted this chair because like, they made a chair for short people. And obviously, it's a problem.
Well, it wasn't that jarring just because you and my wife, when you stood next to each other, are both incredibly short. So I'm just like, oh, there's just two of you. That's fine.
all right. Well, this concludes our show in a strange way.
Very strange, actually. Next
I don't
week
know
we
how we
discuss
got
weight
here.
for 45 minutes.
Oh, God.
I'm just
How many
frantically
stones
trying
do
to
we
convert
weigh?
everything to like metric.
Mhm.
What is this? What is this? So, Pixie, where can people find you? And any last thoughts on this show?
You can find me over at twitch.tv/HyperPixie Gaming. I'm HyperPixie Gaming on Instagram as well, and I'm HyperPixie Games on Twitter because of character limits.
Great. Yeah, we are all, yeah, that character limit is annoying. We are Dungeon Crawl Net. You couldn't even get Dungeon Crawler Net. We are
You were
Dungeon,
so
No, I never
close.
noticed that.
yeah, Dungeon Crawl Net. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
No.
Almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just couldn't give us 2 more letters. So, Lotus, where can people find you?
I am Lotus of Doom pretty much everywhere. Recently, I've actually been streaming at once a week, some arena shenanigans and stuff. I'll probably be MIA most of next week because of the Bethesda Game Days event, but I'll be on Twitter a whole bunch where I'm Lotus of Doom there. Lotus of Doom on, some people have messaged me, so I'm on Discord. It pretty much, if it's Lotus of Doom, that's me, most likely. It'll be a surprise if it's not me, let me put it that way.
Well, about that, you know how my name is completely made up, Arkhaniir, like
Oh,
letter
no.
by letter made up. I once met someone called Arkhaniir just without the H in Elder Scrolls Online, and he had no idea. Like, we didn't know each other at all, and apparently he made it up letter by letter as well with the
Wow.
same method. He came up with Arkhaniir just without the H. It was amazing. And
That's kind
from
of
this,
crazy.
I concluded the letter-by-letter randomization name generation has a definitive result. It's actually
It
not
just
random.
fall-
Yeah.
It just devolves into Arkhaniir.
Yeah. What was the method? So the method is this. That there is no method, basically. So I was trying to come up with a name for Elder Scrolls Online, for a new character, right? And I was like, okay, let's come up with something that I'll like and something that I'll use, because in Elder Scrolls Online, your ID is, you know, like, it shows up everywhere, even if your individual character name is different. So I was like, so R-A-L, I was like, no. So K, no. So basically, I was just like adding letters until it sounded like, so I was like, Arak, no, that sounds like arachnoid, you know. Spiders, no. Arc, okay. Arkal, no. So it took me like 2 hours of just like adding and removing letters, and I was like, Arkhaniir. Okay. How does it look when I type it in? Okay. I can work with that. How does it sound when I say it? Arkhaniir. And at the time, I forgot to consider that Arkhaniir, if you pronounce it, what you type in pure English, it's not how you pronounce it, because those are not I's. That's Arca. How would you say it? Arkhaniir or something like that.
I mean, you could. I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, people get confused. So I forgot to put like that into consideration, because at the time I didn't know I was gonna start streaming. I didn't know I was gonna end up podcasting, inheriting Dungeon Crawler Network. Everyone calling me Arkhaniir or Ark. Now I can't change it because I kind of want to change it to something that actually makes sense and has a meaning. Because then I would be able to like just say it and people would know how to type it in.
I mean, I would give you Guarnir if you would like it. I mean, you can.
I was about to say,
It's
That
fine.
does not
I
help
heard there's somebody
the
on
guy who
PS4
plays
on the
Arena.
American server with that name. It's yours if you'd like it.
So yeah, that was pretty much the method, and apparently we both ended up coming up with the almost same name with a very similar method of just coming up with a name. But yeah, like I don't know, if I were to change it, I would have to like do a massive marketing about changing my name, just so people would know.
Rough.
Yeah, but I hate this. So I am Arkhaniir, Arkhaniir, and it's a completely made up name. So if you see it exactly the same way it's written, that should be me. Unless we are living in a simulation and randomization actually is not real, and everything has a definitive result, and coming up with a name like this always ends up being Arkhaniir. And you can follow everything we do over at dungeoncrawlnetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork, because that is back now, and if you want to help support the show, that is a very great way of doing it for us. Also, you can consider leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes, quite really, it matters. Thank you all so much for joining me on this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magicka fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.